The fitness world can feel so overwhelming. There's influencers trying to tell you this and that. There's so many different opinions. It's so easy to get lost and have no idea if what you're doing is actually right. I get it because I've been there. 4 years ago when I started my fitness journey, I felt like I was just getting flooded with information. I was going from one influencer's workout to the next, trying to have it make sense, and I was just getting so overwhelmed that I couldn't even focus on my workout, which is the most important part. It took me years of trial and error, ditching what wouldn't work for me, spending hours researching, and always changing my approach. And through all that, I finally crafted a system that works for me. And I'm not saying it's gonna work perfectly for you, but it has definitely delivered great results for me and my clients. So in this video, I'm gonna be going over the exact bluepunt that transformed my physique and is getting great results for my clients. And all my training principles are built on being very effective and simple. It's a 3 to 6 day push-pull leg split, and I know that push-pull leg sounds straightforward, so let me break down exactly what that means. On Monday, we have push, which is all of your pushing muscles. We have chest, tricep, shoulder, and then on Tuesday, we have the pull day, which targets your back, biceps, and forearms. And then on Wednesday, we have our first leg day, which is quad focus with a little bit of calves. And then on Thursday and Friday, we roll back into push to make sure that we hit every single angle of the muscle. And then finally on Saturday, we have our second leg day, but this time it's hamstring focused with a little bit of calves. And then we have an active rest day on Sunday, which is crucial for your recovery and your growth. With this structure, you can hit each muscle group 2 times a week with 48 to 72 hours of break in between each session so that we're maximizing muscle growth. And you may be asking why this specific split, and it's because with years of experimenting with every single split out there, most of them just had fundamental flaws, and the biggest one that I found was muscle overlapping, but with this push-pull legs, we completely avoid that. My own physique is proof, but so are my clients. My cousin at the age of 24, who had never stepped foot in the gym before, started following my exact routine. And within 3 weeks, he doubled his strength in almost every single lift, and he has noticed great changes in his physique as well. And now you may be thinking 6 days a week is a lot of time. And as I said before, you can do 3 or 6 and still get amazing results. And the split is effective for everyone, from beginners all the way up to your advanced lifter, because at the end of the day, the goal is to maximize muscle growth. Now let's get into the exact movements that I do and the why. And also remember that every single exercise is gonna be 2 sets of 8 reps, making sure that we take every single set to complete failure. For push day 1, I start with a primary compound movement. Incline dumbbell bench press. I set my bench to a 30 to 45 degree angle, and it's crucial to control the motion here. Keep your elbows tight, don't let them flare out, and make sure that you squeeze your chest at the top. This workout is amazing for building your upper chest, and it also allows for consistent progressive overload. I then will move into cable rope overhead press. For this, I grab the rope, step forward, and then I make sure to keep my elbows as tucked as possible. Then you slowly go down, fast up, and then make sure that you squeeze at the top. These 2 movements show how I select my workouts. I look for how effective they are, and I also look for the potential of progressive overload. For the rest of the workout, I move on to movements like single arm shoulder raises for that side delt development, standing cable chest flies for more chest isolation, and then cable single arm front raises for more front delt development, cable straight bar pushdowns to hit your triceps, and then I will finish up with hanging leg raises for abs. So after an intense push day, we will then move into day 2, which is pull day, where we're looking to just build a wide, thick back, along with some big biceps and forearms. And the philosophy always stays the same. I'm looking for movements with high potential for progressive overload, stability, and strong mind-muscle connection. I will always start with pull-ups because I believe that it's the cornerstone to developing a big, wide back. Just being able to lift your own body weight, and they have endless potential for progressive overload. You can start with assisted, move to body weight, and eventually add weight. It is quite literally a movement that you can grow with for years. Next, I move into machine T-bar rows. This machine provides excellent stability with the chest support, so you can really focus on feeling the mind to muscle connection. For the rest of the workout, I incorporate bicep movements like barbell bicep curls, which is another cornerstone for building strength and mass. I then move into machine preacher curls, which has great stability. I then finish off with cable forearm curls to build my forearms, which always get overlooked. And remember, all of these exercises are 2 sets of 8 reps, taking it to failure, making sure that we give it everything we have so that we can send that signal to our body to actually grow. Now for the most difficult day, leg day. It's going to be quad focused with a little bit of calves, and we only hit this 1 time a week, so we need to make sure that the intensity is high. And just a reminder, this can be a little bit tricky, but for leg days, since it's split into quads and hamstring day, we're doing 3 sets of 8 reps, making sure to take it to complete failure. But the calf movements, we're doing 2 sets of 8 reps because we are hitting calves 2 times a week. This will keep us in the optimal sets per week range, which is 8 to 9. I always start off with hack squat. This is one of the best machines out there for quad development. It has great stability, which really lets you push past failure in a safe manner. And it has endless progressive overload, making it optimal for gains. After that, I move into pendulum squat. It's similar to hack squat with its excellent stability and great range of motion that targets the quad perfectly. And a lot of gyms don't have the pendulum squat, so I would opt it for front squats if you do not have the pendulum squat. These 2 compound movements are the cornerstone of this leg day for optimal quad growth. And then finally, I isolate the quad with leg extensions. It's perfect for growing your quads. It has a great stretch, incredible isolation, and it really allows you to push to amazing levels of failure. I will then move into calves, and I only do these two movements: machine calf raises and machine seated calf raises. But if your gym doesn't have either of these machines, the best alternative would be standing calf raises with dumbbells. Do 4 sets of 8 reps, making sure that we take it to complete failure. After leg day, we roll back into push day number 2, where we're hitting chest, triceps, shoulders, but this time with different exercises to make sure that we hit every single angle of the muscle. And we're also back to 2 sets of 8 reps, making sure to take every single set to complete failure. I start the session with incline bench press on the Smith machine. I prioritize upper chest exercises because they are the key to having an aesthetic physique. The Smith machine also provides great stability and allows for great mind to muscle connection and progressive overload. I will next move into dumbbell shoulder press. It is a great compound movement for building boulder shoulders, which everyone wants. And while it may not offer the same machine-like stability, it's actually a benefit here because it forces you to engage the stabilizing muscles, which builds strength. These 2 movements show how I build on the first day by having different variations of these exercises. For the rest of this push day, I do rope pushdowns, great for hitting the lateral head of the tricep for that horseshoe look that everyone wants. With that in mind, I see a lot of people mess this up, so proper form is key. You need to keep your shoulders back, elbows tucked, and then push the rope straight down and squeeze at the bottom for a second or 2, and then slowly go back up. Then I move into machine chest flies. It provides great stability and you can really focus on squeezing your chest here. Then I do seated single arm dumbbell lateral raises. You sit on the bench sideways, set the bench to a 90-degree angle, and use your hand to grab it so you can stabilize yourself, and then obviously do a regular lateral raise. It's great for building your side delts. And then finally, dips. This is the ultimate tricep builder. It hits all 3 of the heads, and just like pull-ups, you can start with assisted, move to body weight, and then eventually add weight. It's crucial to have proper form to avoid hitting chest and have it focus on tricep only. In order to do that, you need to keep your body upright with your elbows tucked tight to your side and drive to the lockout, focusing on that mind-muscle connection. And to finish, I hit abs for the 2nd time this week, sticking to hanging leg raises and cable crunches. Because as I've always said, abs are built in the gym, revealed in the kitchen. And now to start off the second pull day, we want to maximize that back width and build some nice biceps. I start with lat pull down. It's a crucial movement for targeting your lats directly, helping you build that Dorito back. You need to focus on pulling through your pinky to your elbows, straight to your back, and it also has great stability and it offers endless progressive overload. Next, I move into single arm rows. This is currently my favorite movement and it provides great stability. You can isolate each lat independently and focus on that mind-muscle connection. It is overall very effective for building a wide back. These 2 movements show my core philosophy of a great back day, pairing a double hand movement with a single hand movement, which are both very effective. For the rest of the pull day, I dive deeper into arm development. I start off with some hammer curls. They build overall arm thickness. I will then move into reverse curls. It hits your bicep, but also provides great stimulation for your forearms for a full arm development. Following that, I hit seated incline dumbbell curls. You have to set a bench to 45-degree angle, do 1 arm at a time, 8 reps per side, going to complete failure, and this exercise gives a great stretch. And then finally, I do seated dumbbell forearm curls. I put a heavy emphasis on forearms because they often get left out, but they are consistently the only muscle group people see when you have a shirt on. And always remember, the goal is to maximize muscle growth, so we need to be doing progressive overload and training with high intensity. And now I end off my week with leg day number 2, which is hamstring focus. And remember, we're doing 3 sets of 8 reps on all the hamstring movements and then 2 sets of 8 reps on the calf movements. I start the session off with Smith machine back squat. It is a great movement for building overall leg size, and it is very stable, so you can go to failure much safer than a free bar back squat. And it always has endless potential for progressive overload. And then next is Romanian deadlift, also known as RDL. It is a crucial hip hinge movement that puts a lot of strain on the hamstring. It is often done improperly, so here's how to properly do it. You have to have a soft bend in your knees, push your hips back as you lower the bar down to your mid shin. Make sure to keep your back flat. Then you drive your hips forward and squeeze your glutes at the top. Focus on feeling it in your hamstrings. These 2 movements are the cornerstone of having a great hamstring day. I will then follow these 2 movements up with machine hamstring curls. It really allows you to isolate the hamstring and have a great mind to muscle connection. And then to finish up the leg day, I roll back into the same movements for calves, machine standing calf raises and seated machine calf raises. And as I said before, if your gym does not have either one of these, then do dumbbell standing calf raises, do 4 sets of 8 reps. Just make sure that we're getting 4 sets of calves done at the end of the day. Now that you know the exact movements I do for my 6-day push-pull leg split, let's talk about how we can execute this for maximum muscle growth. And my split is built on scientifically backed principles. The optimal range for muscle growth is 8 to 9 sets, and as you can see, we're doing 8 to 9 sets per muscle group per week so that we stay in that optimal range to maximize muscle growth. And this will only be the optimal spot if you are training with the right intensity and the proper technique, going to complete failure on every single set. And also, rest times in between sets is very important. I recommend you get at least 2 to 3 minutes minimum. More is always better, but with how high intensity these workouts actually are, anything under 2 minutes is risking not letting your muscle fully recover in between sets. And when I say go to failure, I mean you need to actually push yourself to the point where your muscles are literally burning and you cannot complete another rep with proper form. This might even mean finishing with partial reps because we have to signal to the body that it's time to grow and get stronger. And it's also crucial that you never compromise your form to get an extra rep. And you need to make sure that you're keeping your form tight and that you fail with it. The muscles will grow when you get to complete muscle exhaustion, not with sloppy form and ego lifting. And the ultimate goal here is to be getting stronger every single week, so you need to make sure that you're tracking your workouts. You can keep them on the notes in your phone, use a journal, or use an app. All of them work, but you need to note down all the weight that you use and the reps you got for both working sets. The goal is to either increase the weight or the reps per exercise so that you have indefinite proof that you are growing. So this wraps up the full breakdown of the 6-day split that I use to transform my body and the system that my clients are using to transform theirs. And remember, the core philosophy is simple. It's consistency, progressive overload, and making sure that you push yourself every single week to get stronger and better. So whether you commit to the 6-day split or the 3-day split, the key will always be to train with intent and show up every single day. And if you want more of this, I post daily tips and workouts over here on my Instagram. I'll also leave a link in the description. And if you're ready to stop guessing and finally follow a plan that's built around your life, I'll leave a link in the description where you can book a one-on-one call with me and we'll map out a whole plan for you. Until then, keep training hard and I'll see you in the next one.